guys, reviewing that, as you're setting up an earning shot, you've got to bring the person to the middle. How you know you can do it, once you see their body rotate, their shoulders and hips turn, they're having to save a ball like this, that's when you go for it. If their body's still squared up, they can put the ball wherever they want. So it'll look like this. She's going to turn my hips, and she'll know she can jump the corner. She's hit middle, and now she's gone down the line. I've turned open, and she's going to hit that. If I've been able to stay like this, she should not jump the corner. I can see her. This is when I lose contact with her. The second thing, when you are jumping the corner, if I have pushed her back, as I jump, I want to be here so I can extend out. I don't want to be here. I'm going to have to hit a ball into my body. So be 1.5 feet, 2 feet back, and reach out front for that ball. It's not about getting all the way up to the edge. Just jump that corner right here, reach forward. Look, then I'm not hitting it past the net. So you don't have to get all the way around that corner. Any questions on that? I think that'll help. Practice this, drill this. You know, next time you're coming out, just say, I want to hit a couple down the line, and then just jump that corner. As you do it a few times, it gets easier and easier. And as you do it against somebody, like you're playing in a tournament and you do that to somebody, you just took away 25% of their shots. They're never going to hit another shot right there because they know you can do that. Do it once, do it early in a match. You're going to be in their head the rest of the day. That's the main reason to do it. You don't have to do it a ton. Do it enough that they won't hit you that shot anymore. Okay, now we're going to talk about lobs. There's times for lobs and there's times that lobs are bad. I'm not a big fan of baseline lobs. So if Trudy's hit me a shot from here and I think, oh, I'm going to lob to get up to the kitchen. So I do this. If I try to come up, if I do this and I come up, yeah, exactly. So really, only time you're going to lob from the baseline, if Trudy's hitting a real aggressive ball and I'm trying to stay in the point, so all I can do is to save it. Now I square myself back up. On the next shot, I want to be able to then just hit a nice drop in. I wouldn't lob repetitively. As you play against good enough players, you know, if you're playing against Sean, he's going to pound those balls on you. You don't want that. Lobbing should come at the kitchen. This is when you can win points on it. If I can, here's the easiest one. If I can draw Trudy in, so I make her step into the kitchen because I've hit a short ball, and then I hit one up over the top of her, so she stepped in because she had to get this ball. As she's coming back, I can get that over her. If she's set, so she's there and she sees me get ready to lob it, she can get back on it very easily and crunch me. I want to catch her off guard. I want to get it before she can get her body set, because if she's hitting it overhead on me, we don't want her hitting easy overhead. So what this will look like, a good lob, I brought her in short right here, she stepped in, and I put a lob up over her head. The easier shot to hit on the lob, as you saw right there, that went long. If I go cross court with this lob, I have more court to work with. I can hit that same shot and have a lot more room on the court. So the second thing I'd say with that is if there's not wind, it's harder to, but if you're hitting into the wind, the ball's going to stop and dive for you. It's very hard to lob with the wind at your back. When you have the wind at your back, unless you practice this a ton, I would not lob with the wind at your back. It's just too hard to. But the wind in your face, you can cast it up there, and you know it's going to basically die back down. That wind with a pickleball, it's going to change that. So what I want to do, what we're going to do on this, we're going to do it all in one thing. The drill we're going to practice is bringing the ball short, having them have to step in, and then lobbing up over their head. The second part to that, though, the lob that I use, I don't use that lob very often. This is the lob I'd love to see everybody learn how to do. So I bring her in, she hits me a ball, I have her short, and I lob it from the air because she hasn't reset. If I let it bounce, she's had enough time to get ready. So I like to catch balls out of the air and lob it because they don't know that's coming. And sometimes I'll even cast the one out of the air kind of as a half lob on their shoulder because they're not ready for it. They catch it back here. My partner that's come to the middle will now tomahawk that next shot. So you don't have to have a short high lob is the worst thing to do. A fairly flat deep lob is an effective shot, especially if someone has their paddle down. If I cast it right here on their shoulder, the best they're going to do is this, an upward angle shot. So again, that looks like this. It's not a full-blown lob, but I'm catching it and throwing it at her shoulder up there, and then I have the next one to put a put away because she's having to catch a ball behind her. But the thing I want you to work on it, once you get the person to step in, if you can catch it in the air or it has to bounce, either way, once she is stepped short, so right here, I'm going to take it and lob it up over the top of her. Obviously going straight with that lob, again, I have the shortest amount of court. If I can get my body squared up and I want to go to that corner, so it's short, and now I come up like that, I have a lot more court to work with. If you can, you want to lob to people's backhands. So when I do that other lob I was talking to you about, the shot, it's always to their backhand shoulder. You don't want to put a ball right here. That's not going to turn out well. Try that to Brett today and see what happens. You want to hit it to this shoulder when you're lobbing high or flat. Either way, I'm going to her backhand shoulder. I want it over here because even if she gets to that ball, and so let's say I was in the middle of the court and I had done that so I can lob it to her backhand shoulder. She's going to get to this one, but what's she do to it? That. She's now in trouble because she's on the defense. That backhand, very few people have an aggressive backhand. But so you have it over here, one more now. If I put it to her backhand, so, and then I can, she's now on the defensive. So this is a way to change court position. You're now up, that team's now back. If you're struggling because you're like, man, they're out dinking us, mix up a couple lobs in there so they're just not so set on that line. If they're really, they're real aggressive, they're always leaning in and catching balls in the air on your dinking, because they're right here, they're not going to handle a lob very well. If you feel like, man, I can't get a ball on the ground with them, lob a ball to them. All right, let's go out and we'll have 4 people on the court, 2 balls going. Let's practice lobbing. Mix up with new people this time. Okay.